I'm a millionaire. Money by the cases. I ain't gotta chase it. Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money by the cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Money's moving to me. What's going on, beautiful people? Happy Thursday to you all. I hope that you've had an amazing day thus far. If not, it's about to get that much better. If you are watching me live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching me from on tonight, darling. And depending on where you are in the world, it may already be Friday, but go ahead, chime in, let me know who's here. I do not plan to be before you long at all. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started with my intro as I always do. My name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled, single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor. And I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So welcome, everyone. So I'm not going to be on here long at all, but I wanted to talk to you all tonight. As you've seen the title of this video, it is time to rebuild. What am I talking about? Well, as we can see, we are living in a totally different world. The world that we once knew is totally gone. We now have to adapt and change. And while all of that is happening externally around the world, it's also happening within us as well. It is time to rebuild a whole new version of yourself. It's time to rebuild whatever life that you thought you had at one point. It's totally irrelevant to what's taking place now. Sometimes we have to literally be shaken to the point to where we are moved into changing, moved into evolving. And that's what we're realizing now. The world is realizing that, because had some people not been shaken up the way they were, some people would still be eating bad. Some people would still be in the same wrong relationships. Some people would still be stagnant in that old job if they were not forced to change. Now, of course, there are people that should have changed throughout all of this and they haven't. We're not talking about them. But I'm talking about those people that know God was telling them to shift. They know things had to change for them. And it finally happened through everything else shifting in the world. But then there are those of you that are still somewhere in the limbo. You're so tired because you've done so much already. You've worked hard before. You've worked hard at starting the business. You worked hard getting all those degrees. You worked hard, at your job and leveling up and getting promoted. And now when it's time to go to that next place, you're tired because you've done it all before. And it feels like it's not really working. It feels like here I am once again. But I want you to have a different perspective. I want you to realize that now is the time for you to rebuild. Rebuild everything that is supposed to align you with your God-given purpose and with the life that God has called you to live. Let go of all the successes and or failures that you had in the past and give yourself that clean slate. That is the very essence of the blessing of waking up every day. If God gives you the ability to breathe and wake up a new day, that means you have a totally new slate of starting again and rebuilding. This is why the word lets us know that we have brand new benefits waiting for us daily. He loads us with brand new benefits every single day. There are new things that you should be experiencing, new blessings that are waiting for you if you so choose to adapt to that consciousness. It's time to rebuild. Rebuild where you are in your business, rebuild where you are in your personal life, rebuild where you are at work, rebuild. And part of rebuilding is reinventing yourself, reinventing the idea of who you are or who you once were. What does that person look like? What does that person look like? What does that person act like? You have the freedom to reinvent who you are so that way you can become who God has called you to be. We grow in phases. While God sees our end from our beginning, He knew who you would end up being if you aligned with that decision, right? But we have to work to become those different aspects of us. And you can't get to those different aspects if you're not willing to reinvent yourself. If you're not willing to change the thoughts that you had that were keeping you in bondage. If you're not willing to let go of all those limiting beliefs and fear. I was speaking to a business partner tonight, and this person, I said to her, I said, listen, you literally have a gold mine. And she has not been implementing herself the way she should because of fear and because of things that she was not familiar with. And she said to me, you know what? I'm just not used to doing this. And that's fine, right? Because life is about new journeys, learning something new. But don't not do it because you've never done it before. See, that's where most people miss it. Most people stop because they've never done it before, because it's unfamiliar. And so they'd rather stay where it's comfortable because I know that. Well, just because you know it doesn't mean you need to stay there. That knowing has kept you in the current lifestyle in which you have. This is why it is imperative to have mentors. It is imperative to have exposure so you can realize that the world is bigger than where you are. That's why traveling is amazing. Being cultured. I'm a very cultured person. I love to travel. I love to see how people do things around the world. You know, my best friend was making fun of me because when we went to our cruise a couple weeks ago, every person that was working on the ship, I was sitting there trying to read their name tag. Like, okay, well, where are you from? And where are you from? And what country are you from? I love to see how people do things and have different cultures because it shows us that the world is bigger than where we are. And sometimes we get so caught up in our lives, in our cubicle, in our borough, in our city, in our town, that we don't realize there's a whole world out there. As you experience that whole new world and all these different cultures, you get to see a different side of God. You get to see another side of all the amazing things that He has allowed other people to discover. Because after all, we are all made in His image and likeness. So if all of us are made in the image and likeness of God, that means there's a whole aspect of God that you may not be privy to because you haven't gotten out of your circle. You haven't gotten out of everyone that looks like you, talks like you, thinks like you, and you don't realize there's a whole new world out there, a whole new experience that you could be having, but you haven't gotten out of your comfort zone. You haven't decided to rebuild. You haven't decided to reinvent yourself. You have permission tonight to do that. It may get frustrating sometimes. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm one of those people that I don't like to start over. I don't. That's why I was all that dating. I just don't. Like, I'm not wasting my time. Either we going to do this, we're going to not. Like, that's just me. I don't like to start over. I like to get things done. I like to master something. Once I've mastered it, I'm ready for the next thing. But to start the same thing over and over again, that's frustrating. I'll be like, oh, no, you can have this. But there is something in being resilient and in rebuilding that creates a giant inside of you. It takes creativity to a totally different level because now you have to choose to have a different perspective as to how you're going to make something work. That takes a new level of discipline, and it takes for you to refresh and revise the vision that you say you have. And so right now in your life, what do you need to rebuild? What do you need to reinvent? What does restoration need to come from for you? What does that look like? Because if you're waiting for someone else, if you're waiting for the world to tell you to do something, you've already missed it. They're creating their own new thing. How do you fit in? Are you still trying to hold on to how it was? Well, the good old days. Well, honey, we're not in the good old days anymore. If that's what your good old days were. Let's create some new ones. Let's do it again. Let's rebuild something that's worthwhile with the right people, with the right energy, with the new excitement Forgetting what you did that didn't work and that did work. I had to tell another business partner, they were talking to me tonight, and I love this person. You know, they bring a whole lot of joy to me. And they were sharing with me something that they had done. And I said, you know what? I don't mean to be rude by interrupting you, but I have to interrupt you. And the reason why I have to interrupt you is because we need to break the cycle of the conversation because we're just moving backwards. All of the things that you did that worked and didn't work have absolutely nothing to do with today and right now. It's a new day. It's a new day. I know I got a song for everything. It's a new day. So I really don't want to hear about what we did, what we didn't do, what worked, what didn't work, who left, who's still here. It has nothing to do with it right now. And that same conversation that I had with her, I had to have with myself. So I'm like, listen, I'm tired. I done did this. I've been doing it for all these years. I done all of this, spoke to all these people, did all this work. I did it. It don't matter. The operative word in that statement is did. Past tense. You did it. What you gonna do now? Behold, I do a new thing. There's a whole new thing. Will you not perceive it? I love how God asks us questions, right? Because he knows the answer. He doesn't ask us questions to figure out, does God know the answer to this? No, he asks the question so that way you can figure it out, for you to reflect. Just like a good coach does. If you have a good coach or a good therapist, they don't give you the answer. We ask you questions to help you reflect, to come to your own resolution. God says, behold, I do a new thing. Will you not perceive it? And the truth is, a lot of us don't perceive it. So we don't know that it's new. We don't know it's new because we're still in the old. Still trying to hold on to the old, trying to nurture the old, trying to make the old pretty, trying to water the old. Baby, it's done. It's time to rebuild. And sometimes rebuild doesn't mean moving your location. It just means reinventing yourself where you are, still being planted, but rebuilding from where you are. That's right, Queen Joy. It's a new day, a new thing. That's right. And so you have to rebuild from where you are. So what's going to be the twist? Let's go, Queen. What's going to be the twist? What's going to be the new era, the new you? It should be exciting. And let me tell you, this is a whole new revelation. Let me tell you this right now, because I wasn't feeling like this the other day. I will tell you, I'm honest. I'm like, forget this, okay? But I had to tap into the right frequency. I had to tap into the right mentorship, the right people to get me back into where I need to be, because I was stuck in the old. Girl, get over it. That's like you being in a relationship 5 years ago. Y'all done broke up and you still mad at him. Girl, bye. It's been 5 years. That man done forgot about you. Probably got married twice over already, and you still stuck on what he did. It's a new day. Be free, daughter. Be free. So I had to get my self back. I had to get my shift back. I had to get my surge of energy back to realize, girl, this is what you do. You need people in your life to remind you of who you really are. You need people in your life who can speak to not only who you are today, but who you will be, and who can remind you of that vision. Like, sometimes we sleep on ourselves. We get so boggled up with everything going on, we forget who the bleep we are, okay? Like, what? How are you doubting yourself right now? And people looking at you like you crazy. Like, who is this talking? Like, I don't even know who this is right now. And so I remember there was a time where I had to go back, and honey, I had to look at my own videos, okay? I had to go back to my own teachings. I had to go back to my own courses and say, do you know who you are, Sharita? You are Sharita Leon, okay? What in the world? Girl, bye. I don't know who been lying to you. Them thoughts you've been having, but you need to throw that all the way in the garbage. You are Sharita Leon. You are Queen Sharita Leon. That's how some of y'all need to talk to yourselves. rebuild, reinvent, restore, realign, and get yourself back to that place of riches that no one can give to you, nor can anyone take it away from you. No one has that ability unless you allow them to. Unless you allow them to. And the crazy thing is, everything is wrapped around our thoughts, which create our beliefs or the lack thereof. And so we start believing all these thoughts and these lies, and we get led by our low vibrational thoughts and feelings. Let's go, queen. We get led by those things, and now we start believing, oh, I can't do it again. We start believing, oh, I'm tired. We start believing, oh, I'm too old for this. Oh, I don't think I could do it anymore. They don't want to do this. Nobody in the world wants to do this. We get so extreme. We get so extreme. Hey, Queen Patricia. We get so extreme. Well, nobody wants to do this. No one wants to buy my book. No one's coming to my store. Stop. You mean to tell me there's over 7 billion people in the entire world? You have millions of people in your city and your state. You have access to 1 billion people on social media. And you mean to tell me that nobody wants what you have? Over 90% of the people don't even know what the heck you have. But you just told yourself, nobody wants to do this anymore. Everybody's tired. Everybody doesn't want to do this. You start believing that crap. I'm talking about myself right now. I'm gonna come to your street in a moment if you tell the truth and tell you shame the devil. But this is what we do. We start sitting here and we get tired because we done did it and people left, and now they stop buying my stuff. They stop building their team. They stop coming to my restaurant. Nobody wants to eat anymore. Everybody's vegan. Everybody's raw. Really? Everybody? Stop the madness. Have that conscious interrupt and say, stop. That is not true. I'm in my feelings right now. I'm tired, yes. I'm a little emotional, yes. But there's no way in the world you're going to tell me that it's not working. In fact, it's working for a whole lot of other people. So how is it that they are finding the people that want to do it? They're finding the people that want to come to their restaurant. They're finding the people that want to go and get their nails done. They're finding the people who want to buy their products. They're finding the people that are building large organizations. They're finding where they find them from. Was it just special from God just for those people? Is that what happened? No, that's not what happened. Those people believe that they could, and they did, and therefore they attract the people that wanted what they have. They continued to build, and then they rebuild over and over and over again. And can that be tiresome? Yes, it can be. Can it be rewarding? Yes, it can be. I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself and think that nobody wants to join network marketing anymore. Everybody's tired. Everybody's a coach now, you know. Everybody doesn't want to do this anymore. Do you know how many people don't even know about network marketing? There are so many people that don't even know about network marketing. And then when they find out, they get excited and say, oh my gosh, why didn't I know about this before? There are people right now that get excited when they find out about this industry, and they're mad that no one told them before, and they run with this opportunity and change their entire lives. That's a fact. But we want to sit here and focus on all the ones that said they wanted to do something. They signed up, you got a quick start bonus, and they left, and now we don't want to do it no more. That was me for a good minute. Listen, when you recruit as many people as I've recruited, listen, I recruited so many dang on people, and just about every company that I've been in, I'm a master recruiter. And can you believe, while I know I'm a master recruiter, I started saying to myself, saying, I don't think I could do this anymore. I was saying, I can't sign people up. I don't think I could do it. I didn't want to do it. That was the truth. The truth was, I don't want to do it. Can we tell the truth and shame the devil tonight? I didn't want to do it. Clearly, I could do it. I've been on leaderboards in multiple companies for recruiting. I'm talking about companies that had hundreds of thousands of people in there, and I made it to the leaderboard, the top 6, and now I can't recruit. I don't recruit on nearly 100 people in time, but now I can't recruit. Girl, what is this lie you're telling yourself? What is this lie you're telling yourself? So I'm going to tell my business so you can find your street and snap out of it. Snap out of it. Because while you're sitting in your little emotions that are not yielding you the results you want, there's somebody else that's excited. And there's somebody else that is signing up somebody that could have been signed up with you. There's somebody else that's starting that new restaurant that could have been your location. There's somebody else that's writing the book that you could have written and become a bestseller. There's somebody else that's doing it, and they're reaching people because there's an assignment. And they decided to go with the assignment. Now, if it had never worked before, I could say, you know what? I can see why you want to stop. But when you can see the proof and know that it's working for a whole lot of people, that means you got to come back and look at yourself. We are the ones to blame. There's no one else. No one else is responsible for our lives, not as an adult. Now, will things happen? Absolutely. Will life shake us up with some unexpected things? Absolutely, they will. It will. But it's how you choose to respond. Not react, but how will you respond? What are the choices that you're willing to make? What are the choices? God gives us choices. That's the beautiful thing about God. He doesn't force us to do anything, which is so crazy how you have some religious people that want to force you into certain things. But that's another talk for another day. I digress. If God says, I put before you blessings and curses, life and death, you choose. So what do we choose to do today? How do we choose to show up into the world? Only you can make a decision. You have to make a decision that you're going to show up, that you're going to rebuild, that you're going to reinvent yourself, that you're going to allow yourself the grace to do whatever's been in your heart to do, now more than ever. Reimagine what your world could look like. Reimagine. See, the people that change the world are the ones who reimagine a new world. They're literally thinking in their minds, I wonder what it will look like to put a new city in a desert place where this has never been done before, a world where people can only live about 20 minutes away from their jobs, a world where there's no crazy fuel and gasoline messing up with the air and pollution. I wonder what that would look like, and now let's create it. There is someone right now, he's a billionaire who used to be an executive for Walmart, and he is creating this $400 billion city in the desert, okay? He's creating a $400 billion new city in the desert, and it's coming from his imagination. And in this new city that he's creating, he wants to be where no one has to drive more than 25 minutes to get to work, where they live on 150 acres. They have beautiful buildings. It's healthy air. He's creating this, literally. As we speak now, they're looking for different deserts in either the Nevada area, Arizona, or Utah. And he's looking for investors to create this $400 billion city. Guess what's going to happen? He's going to create that $400 billion city. And guess what? There are going to be people that are going to flock to this area to live there because someone reimagined a new world and they created it, and now the people came. What would happen if you would reimagine your world? What would happen if you reimagine what your life could look like? And because you decided to reimagine that, you then decided to rebuild. And now the people that were supposed to be in your life now come to get to that next place. Because the truth is, there are some people that had to leave because they were not meant to go where you're going. They were not there to sustain and be a part of this newness that's taking place. They don't have the fortitude or the ability to withstand the glory that's about to manifest in your life on that level, so they had to leave. That was not the team with a group of people to do it with. But now, honey, this new wave, this rebuilding, this reinvention and reimagining of this amazing dream team, oh, they were the ones that needed to get to where you need to go. They're the ones that are responsible of you going to this next level, this new dimension. The editor you had before, that wasn't the right editor, okay? The graphic designer you had before, she didn't have the right spirit. He didn't have the right spirit. That wasn't who you needed. Now, the ones that are coming along in this season, oh, they're supposed to be here. They're ordained to be here. And they get to enjoy the fruits of your labor because they're assigned. But you won't know that if you're not ready and willing to rebuild, reimagine, and reinvent yourself. So I'm on a mission. Y'all know how I get. But I'm on a mission, honey. Nothing stopping me. Nothing. I'm on a mission like Nehemiah to rebuild. And the way we rebuild this time, it's going to be amazing. Simply amazing. The things that had to take place for this to happen have already taken place. So this is why it's even that much more amazing. Because the cards are all in the right place. Everything has aligned to make it so. And so, as you all know, I am not for everybody, and everybody is not for me. We're clear on that. But I do know that I am called to a set of queens that literally are in this place ready to rebuild their lives, ready to reinvent themselves, ready to rebuild their way to riches, ready to realign themselves with their purpose that God has placed in their hearts, doing it with grace, abundance, with integrity, and with fun, with joy. God has been too good to us for us to be here and not take full advantage. There have been too many things that have aligned. He has taught too many people to create too many things for you not to tap in to what's actually taking place. Forget what didn't work. Forget if you signed up and that didn't happen. Forget that. Who has time for that? It's time for you to get back in the game right now. It's time to get back in the game right now. And it's time for you to do it with me. I'm just saying. Yes, I said it. With. So if you're that queen and you're ready, you want to go on this journey, you want to rebuild your life and rebuild your way to riches, I'm talking to you. I am talking to you. We live in an abundant world. Regardless of what you're seeing, what messages are being put out there, we live in the world of opulence because God allows us to, because our imagination allows us to, because Jesus came that we'd have life and have it more abundantly, because God said that we have the power to get wealth. These are the promises that we were given. And because that's what it says, I believe it. That settles it. Amen. I'm talking to you, Queen. Let's go. And so you ready? Are you ready? Is you ready? If you're ready, let's talk. Okay, let's talk. Let's parlay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Queen Joe, I haven't heard you say that in a long time. Yeah, you know what I mean? All right, y'all, listen. Get in my inbox. Let's go. Let's rebuild. Let's reinvent ourselves. Let's reimagine a life that literally looks like a movie. And let's totally change some lives as we do it. Let's get this back. Let's attract love, peace, prosperity, banging bodies, amazing health, and all that good stuff. Okay? Let's go. Get in my inbox. If you're watching from YouTube, you can email SharitaLeon@gmail.com or find me on Facebook. Inbox me and let's get it popping. I thank you all for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Be blessed, y'all.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire.
Get your money. Get your money.